codec called AVC1. So this is the YouTube statistics, and that codec is pretty bad. And so the nice thing about YouTube is that it will transcode everything that you send it. If you're a Twitch streamer, you know that you don't get transcode for everything. Oftentimes, if you're a newer streamer, you have a small channel, whatever you send to Twitch is whatever they give to your viewers. That has its disadvantages in that if you send too much data to Twitch and Twitch in turn sends too much data to the viewer might lag if they have slower internet. But on the upside, because Twitch doesn't compress the video, the viewer gets a much cleaner quality. But because YouTube compresses everything, it makes it better for distribution on the viewer's side, but you get a hit in quality. And so how do we remedy this? Well, YouTube actually uses AVC1 codec for lower resolution video, so 1080p and below. Anything above 1080p, and you get a better codec. And that's what we have here. So this is 1440p. And you can see this new codec. It's called VP9. This is a much higher quality codec. And because it's 1440p that I sent to YouTube, they're just taking more data and there's just more for them to work with in the transcode. And I'm not gaming at 1440p. This is a 1080p clip of, Halo gaming at 1080p. I just upscaled it to 1440p before I sent it to YouTube. This is a pretty standard hack for video uploads that people have known for a long time. And if you go to 4K, it's even better.
Taste, my friend.
But there are some downsides to going up to 4K that I'll mention in a bit. But what you can really appreciate just by switching back and forth between these is just the quality. I mean, like this at 1080p, you can see how smeared out it is all over the place. There's like very little detail in this carpet, on the sign. You can't even read what it says. Even the text that like the HUD is giving you is a bit blurred out. When you switch back to the 1440p, it's way sharper. And you can play this back at 1080p. I have this playing back at, you can play this back at 1440p. I'm playing this back at 1080p right now. So it's, playing back from YouTube at the same resolution as this 1080p video. But because the original video was at 1440p, it's giving me this better transcode codec. And so, I mean, it doesn't take, it doesn't take too much to see that that you can clearly see way more information on the 1440p version. And so now there are some trade-offs. Obviously, streaming at higher resolution requires higher bitrate, requires better internet. That is one downside that I'm going to talk about a little bit when we talk about encoder settings. But the other downside is that if you go into your stream control center for YouTube, you actually get this latency option right here. And the issue is that ultra low latency is only supported for 1080p video. You can't do this with 1440p. Low latency you can do with 1440p, but you can't do 4K here. Normal latency works with 4K. So, I stream, mostly my production work is with my church. We don't really need that chat interaction and stuff. It's mostly just a live broadcast. And so we'll stream 4K using normal latency. But I think for live streaming, if you're a gamer and stuff, like if you're coming from Twitch, you're used to that chat.
One enemy remaining.
Keep after them. I need a drop.
Let's go.
Yeah, they smoked A.
Enemy spotted A. One down. Enemy spotted A. Enemy spotted A.
That works.
They found my trap.
Spike down A.
Teleport's ready.
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
Oh, he's going B.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Race wait for me. Oh, okay.
My fault. He pushed me, so I kind of, you know.
Shame. I love explosions. Peter, let me borrow one of your guns. Please? Ah, come on, man. Please?
Hi, Raze.
Enemy spotted B.
Not A.
Decoy. Many enemies mid.
3 mid.
Enemy spotted mid. Enemy spotted mid.
Enemy spotted mid. Reloading.
My ult's ready.
That's a good spot.
Spike planted.
Don't get up.
One enemy remaining.
Enemy spotted A.
Teleport's ready.
Flawless.
Bravo! You all did beautifully.
Never had a doubt. Let's keep it going.
Hi.
Good work. Don't screw it up. Need help.
Spike down mid.
Going B. Spike point.
Go get her.
Last player standing.
Anyone have any splints? I may have jammed my fingers. Multiple fingers.
This is an update to my video from last October about streaming 1440p HEVC video to YouTube. If you haven't seen that one, I'll put a link in the description below. In the wake of the RTX 4000 and RX 7000 series GPU launches, I'm still on that HEVC train here to bring you the best settings for streaming to YouTube without selling your left kidney for a new AV1 capable GPU. In that last video, I covered why it is important to use 1440p for YouTube streaming. The short version is that you want to get VP9 transcoding, and the best way to do that is to use 1440p video. And in this video, I show you the quality difference, and I'll put a timestamp for that section in the description below. But today, I'm going to talk about a little hack that I learned from Reddit for tricking YouTube into giving you a 1440p transcode, and I will cover new OBS settings using version 29.1 now that you can stream HEVC using the standard RTM protocol. In this video, in the OBS settings, I show you how to stream HEVC using the HLS protocol, which is not terrible, but not as straightforward, and now with OBS 29.1, we can streamline this process. To set up a 1440p YouTube stream that will always give you VP9 transcoding regardless of what resolution and frame rate you send, you'll need to create custom stream keys in YouTube. To do that, go to YouTube. On the left column, click Your Videos. That'll bring you to YouTube Studio. And then at the top right, click Create, Go Live. It'll give you three options here. It might load you into one of these other, which is streaming from webcam and scheduling streams. Go to the standard stream tab. This is your live stream control room. And under here, under your stream key settings, you can select stream key. As you can see here, I created an RTMP 1440p 60 key. You'll have your default stream key in here by default, and you can create new ones and manage stream keys as needed, and delete them using manage stream keys. So what you need to do is create a new stream key, give it a name like 1440p trick or something. Okay. Keep RTMP default. Before we had to use HLS, but with a new version of OBS you don't have to do that. Turn on manual settings, set this to 1440p. You don't want 4K, I'll explain that later. And then turn on the 60 FPS option. If you don't, it'll lock to 30. You turn this on, it'll lock to 60. Most of us want 60 FPS. Okay, and then you'll click create. I'm not gonna do that because I already have one. Okay. So you'll notice that ultra low latency is now blacked out. That's because this is reserved for 1080p streams where YouTube can transcode much quicker. All we can use is low latency, and this is about 5 to 7 seconds of chat latency. Ultra low latency is like 2 seconds, is much better. Normal latency is about 25 to 30 seconds. And the reason we don't want to stream in 4K is because 4K only gets normal latency, so it's really not worth it. 1440p gives you that higher quality stream with also decent low latency. So that's all you need to do in YouTube. Now we can go to OBS and change those settings there. First, you'll want to copy your stream key. This is the code for this new stream key that you made, and you'll use that to put into OBS. Then in OBS, you want to go to Settings, go to Stream, YouTube RTMPS. This is the standard YouTube streaming protocol. Last time I showed you how to scroll all the way down here and find YouTube HLS, which is the special advanced one. But now that OBS 29.1 is out, you can just use RTMPS, normal one for HTTP streaming. You want to go to use stream key and then just paste in the stream key that you copied from YouTube. You click apply, and now all the video that OBS sends will send to that 1440p stream key, and YouTube will automatically transcode it to 1440p and give you VP9. Okay. Next, you want to go to video. This is where you set your canvas resolution. That's the resolution of this sort of template here. and then your output resolution, that's the actual video that gets encoded and sent to YouTube. So if you game at 1440p or 4K, you want your base canvas resolution to be the resolution of your gaming monitor. If you game at 4K or 1440p, set it to 4K, 1440p, or 1080p, or whatever it is. For output scaled resolution, you want to send either 1440p or 1080p to YouTube, unless you have kind of really bad internet, but we'll talk about that at the end. So for me, I game at 1440p. I'll stream at 1440p. If you game at 4K, you should also stream at 1440p, because like I said, if you stream at 4K, you get really bad latency. And then if you game at 1080p, you should just stream at 1080p. There's no point in sending YouTube higher than 1080p video if you're only starting with 1080p. YouTube will upscale it to 1440p on their end and give you that higher quality. And then you'll keep 60 FPS in general, unless you have really, really, really bad internet.
One enemy remaining.
But we'll talk about that.
Spike down B.
Okay. The next thing you're gonna go is to output. You can use advanced if you have more advanced things going on, you understand these settings work, but just for a basic overview guide, just stick with simple, okay? So, video bitrate, this will change based on your resolution and possibly your internet speed. Audio bitrate, I try to keep it 128, that's a good level. Video encoder will change based on your graphics card, I'll cover that in a second. Encoder preset, just use whatever OBS sets as the default here. It's P6 for NVIDIA, I believe it's balanced for AMD, I don't know what it is for Intel. And then your audio encoder, leave this at AAC default as well. Okay, so the video encoder, this is the important part. Everyone will have X264, that's encoding H.264 on your CPU. It's okay, it kind of, adds a lot of load to your CPU, and it's not ideal, but it works. And then most people will have a GPU accelerated H.264 encoder. This is an older codec that is almost universally supported now. It's like 20 years old, and it's everywhere. And then HEVC is a newer codec. It's, I don't know, maybe like 10 years old or something. And a lot of graphics cards have HEVC encoding. And so, if you have a Ryzen CPU that has integrated graphics, you have HEVC encoding. If you have a Radeon graphics card, going back to RX 400 series, you have HEVC encoding. Any NVIDIA GPU, going back to the GTX 1000 series, so I have a 1070 Ti in here, you have HEVC encoding. And any Intel Arc graphics card,
They do be going A though.
integrated Intel iGPU, going back to 7th gen core processors, you have HEVC encoding on that iGPU.
30 seconds left.
And so that's what I really like about HEVC, is that it's accessible to pretty much everyone. I mean, if you have a graphic HEVC, if your system is really, really worth it, because HEVC and AV1 are both way better than H.264, and so I think if you have HEVC, it's good enough. But we can talk about AV1
One enemy remaining
video as well. So to figure out your bitrate right
Spike
here,
planted.
you'll need to, if you have really good internet, then you can set this to whatever you need it to be for the resolution that you're gaming at. But if your internet isn't so great, then you need to really check your video bitrate, because this is how much of your internet OBS is going to be taking up constantly while you're streaming. And so luckily for me, I get over 100 megabit per second upload with my fiber internet connection. But if I was using a slower network like my phone hotspot, for example, I would only get 6 megabits per second upload. And then I have to be careful what bitrate and resolution I output OBS in. So to test your internet speed, you're going to go to Google and search speed test. Okay, you can either use the one that pops up in Google, or this first one, speedtest.net, a lot of people use. Just run speed test, and first it's going to test your download speed. I have fiber internet, so this is really fast. I'm sorry if some people are upset by how fast my internet is. But as you can see, I don't really have to worry about my download or upload speeds. But if you were to have smaller numbers than this, like let's say 20 and 6, so 20 megabits per second download and 6 megabit per second upload, that's like a fairly standard, like sort of low to middle end cable internet in New York City or something. Then you would have to worry about how much internet speed that you have available to you. If your internet upload speed is over 15 megabit per second, then you're not really bitrate limited, and you can base your bitrate on resolution of your game. If your internet upload speed is less than 10 megabits per second, then you really want to set your bitrate to like 75% of your upload speed. This is because you still need bandwidth for your games and background apps, and sometimes the speed will fluctuate a bit, and you don't want those fluctuations to cause drop frames in your stream. Here's a table of bit rates and resolutions after you calculate your bitrate based on 75% of your upload speed. Come here and determine the best resolution and frame rate to use for HEVC streaming. These are rough estimates I made using Halo Infinite, which is a relatively detailed first-person shooter. Games with a lot of foliage like Witcher 3 or games with high motion like racing games may require more bitrate. And on the other hand, simpler games like Valorant with very flat details or card games like Hearthstone with very little motion may not need as much bitrate. But I think these numbers are a good starting point to do your own testing if you feel so inclined. NVIDIA also has a guide that I'll link in the description below of upload speed, recommended bit rates, and then H.264, HEVC, and AV1 resolutions at those bit rates. Their numbers are a little different than mine, just varies based on what game you use. Default stream key in here by default. You can create new ones and manage stream keys as needed and delete them using manage stream keys. So what you need to do is create a new stream key, give it a name like 1440p trick or something. Okay. Keep RTMP default. Before we had to use HLS, but with a new version of OBS you don't have to do that. Turn on manual settings. Set this to 1440p. You don't want 4K, I'll explain that later. And then turn on the 60 FPS option. If you don't, it'll lock to 30. You turn this on, it'll lock to 60. Most of us want 60 FPS. Okay, and then you'll click create. I'm not gonna do that because I already have one. Okay. So you'll notice that ultra low latency is now blacked out. That's because this is reserved for 1080p streams where YouTube can transcode much quicker. All we can use is low latency, and this is about 5 to 7 seconds of chat latency. Ultra low latency is like 2 seconds, is much better. Normal latency is about 25 to 30 seconds. And the reason we don't want to stream in 4K is because 4K only gets normal latency, so it's really not worth it. 1440p gives you that higher quality stream and also a decent low latency. So that's all you need to do in YouTube. Now we can go to OBS and change those settings there. First, you'll want to copy your stream key. This is the code for this new stream key that you made, and you'll use that to put into OBS. Then in OBS, you want to go to Settings, go to Stream, YouTube RTMPS. This is the standard YouTube streaming protocol. Last time I showed you how to scroll all the way down here and find YouTube HLS, which is the special. Last time I showed you how to PS. This is the standard YouTube. Now that OBS 29.1 is out, you can just use RTMPS, the normal one for HEV streaming. You want to go to Use Stream Key, and then just paste in the stream key that you copied from YouTube. You click Apply, and now all the video that OBS sends will send to that 1440p stream key, and YouTube will automatically transcode it to 1440p and give you VP9. Okay. Next, you want to go to Video. This is where you set your canvas resolution. That's the resolution of this sort of template here. Output resolution. That's the actual video that gets encoded and sent to YouTube. So if you game at 1440p or 4K, you want your base canvas resolution to be the resolution of your video. You game at 4K or 1440p, set it to 4K, 1440p, or 1080p, or whatever it is. For output scale resolution, you want to send either 1440p or 1080p to YouTube, unless you have kind of really bad internet, but we'll talk about that at the end. So for me, I game at 1440p. I'll stream at 1440p. If you game at 4K, you should also stream at 1440p, because like I said, if you stream it...
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Enemy spotted mid.
Scatter.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Thanks. Ah, shame. I love explosions.
Last round in the half.
Use everything you have. We lose it anyway.
They are so dead.
Cutting through.
Watch this!
That's 3.
That works.
One enemy remaining. Spike down
Teleport
B.
ready.
One tap, let's go.
Last player standing.
It's a shame you had to die, but you are not part of my bigger picture.
Switching sides.
Don't stop fighting. You must keep going, even if you're the only one.
Reloading. Let's go!
Enemy spotted me. Reloading.
Grenade!
Yo, spike raid.
Plant the spike.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Rest well, Neon. See you in another life.
They want to dance? I'll lead.
That's a good spot.
Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
There. There. Satchel out.
Okay, which gun to pick this time?
Reloading.
Hit them when they're not looking. Going B. Decoy. Enemy spotted A.
Here. Here. Here.
Last player standing.
Move in after I strike. That's when they're weak.
Keep up.
Enemy spotted.
Reloading.
Decoy.
Here. Reloading.
Time to jump.
Reloading. Reloading.
There.
Plant a spike.
Plant the spot. Plant the spot.
Spike planted. Enemy spotted.
Last player standing.
You're done. My ult's ready. Never show weakness. Ever. Here.
Reloading.
In we go.
Reloading.
Time to jump.
Reloading.
Enemy spotted A.
I'll handle this. Cutting.
Spike planted.
Miss me? Cutting through.
Last player standing.
Here comes the party! Grenade! Satchel out.
My city needs me. I can't be away for long. Let's end this quickly.
Reloading.
Let's make some chaos.
Next. Bomb buddy out.
There.
Satchel out. Grenade.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Wind. Show me where to go.
They are so dead. Spike's here.
Guys, come on. The spike.
Time to explode.
Decoy. Here.
Reloading.
Time to jump.
Reloading. Grenade! Enemy spotted A. Satchel out.
Enemy spotted A.
That's a good spot.
Spike drop. Our spike carrier is
Killed.
Spike down A.
enemy spotted.
My ult's ready.
You are powerless. I have the spike.
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
See ya.
One enemy remaining.
I got the spike.
And the last thing they'll see before they die. Lucky them.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
Time to jump.
Blocking
Still in
sight.
sight.
Cutting through.
Red planet.
Bye. Stay down.
Last player standing.
Satchel out.
One enemy remaining.
Got one. Grenade!
Why aren't you pushing it?
They're just batteries. And I need a recharge.
That is not an LOL moment.
Jump.
The hunt begins.
Lock in sight.
Cutting through.
130.
Here. Ult's ready.
Spike down A.
Enemy spotted A.
Pardon, monsieur. A gift.
Scatter.
They found my trap.
Last
Kobe.
player standing.
Take aim, then fire. Let's not complicate it.
Need a drop. Reloading.
For you, hermanita.
Time to jump.
Spike's here.
Enemy spotted. B. Plant a spike.
Who has spike?
That's
Let's
not
go,
ready.
bro. Come on, get on B. It's open. No one's on
Have the
B.
spike.
Chill. Relax. Planted.
Teleport's ready.
One enemy remaining.
Killed your people.
Sage or Raze, can I get
It
the
seems
off?
these strangers want
Spike
my
here.
Yeah, they're not the first. Focus now. Eyes off me.
Satchel out. Satchel out. Hey!
Cutting through.
Having baby. Wrong buddy out.
Plant a spike.
Spike carrier found.
Spike down mid.
Hi! I'm pissed! Got one! You will not kill my allies! My ult's ready.
Okay, I was camping spike.
I have the spike.
One enemy remaining.
Someone's in the
Last player standing.
Grenade!
Wide swing, wide swing.
Clutch. Match point.
Deep breaths, everyone. Your hearts are pounding.
Toaster is broken.
They should be CC.
That works.
Bomb buddy out.
All gotta go. They heard your boom bot.
Last player standing.
Spike planted. Grenade!
The hunt begins.